I had pretty much like growing up like zero influence as far as like no parental supervision at all, right? Already a Generation X latchkey kid. So that kind of really shaped a lot of kind of where I went. Very poor. Mother was trying to make it what she had and then battling with her own issues and demons. We lived from place to place, was always in a different school, lived in homeless shelters for some time also. Teenage years is kind of where I kind of went off track. I think what most kids do. You know? Got pretty hardened young, you know, as far as a lot of fights, you know, trying to figure myself out, still upset, you know, why am I in this situation?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like trying to figure out life, you know. When I originally went in, like, so this was pre 9/11, talking to the recruiter, you know, give me all these different options. I was like, at that point, I was like, MP, that's the only time I'm going to see any action, like anything going on. It should be somewhat going to give me some kind of adrenaline. Right?
Okay.
You know, so that was my
You're looking for the thrill.
I was looking for the thrill, right? I actually signed it in my unit September 11th of 2000.
Oh, wow.
1 year before the towers. So, yeah, so did the Q course, went to 7th group, and at that point we're at Fort Bragg, and then deployed quite a little bit.
Obviously, multiple combat tours as a Green Beret, and I know that you went, you know, from just a 18 Bravo weapons sergeant up to being a first sergeant and sergeant major, right?
Yes.
So every level of leadership within the Special Forces structure you basically have done from an enlisted point of view.
I get a phone call. My son was in a motorcycle accident. And then, man, I was just like, at that point, like something was, you know what I mean? Like I knew.
You knew.
Like at that point, man, my like stomach just dropped, you know? And so from there, you know, I tell my wife, you know, it was, you know, my son ended up passing away, right? So it was the most, obviously, the difficult thing that I've ever had to deal with, that we've ever had to deal with in our life, you know. Everything just started kind of unraveling, you know what I mean? Like I went away from like the PT, like all, you know, you're going through this grieving process and you don't know how to do it, right? So for 20 plus years, even as a childhood, I've learned how to like ignore trauma.
Stuff it down.
Right? Because that's what a man does. You just stuff it down, put it aside, you carry on, and you move forward, right? Draw fire, move forward, right? And then like, now you're like, now what do I do, right? Where do I go from here? So, I mean, at that point, we just went to pretty, very dark place. And I think a lot of SF guys too, it's control.
You want to be in control?
Yeah. So like, so what the problem is like, so it feels uncomfortable to give Christ control and say, all right, I'm going to give you control, right? And I don't know what that looks like. It's a very scary thing. After I went all in and I'm like, listen, like this is, if you can give me peace, man, that's the thing I'm missing, you know?